I'm curious of your thoughts. I know you were already texting me before the Lions game even happened that you were not happy with the first game. We technically have 2 games to talk about. I know that game didn't end well, but I felt like the game as a whole wasn't too bad. But then Minnesota obviously didn't have a great game last week. I kind of thought that was more the strength of Minnesota, and then they lost to Atlanta last night here, and McCarthy got hurt, and they're looking to be maybe in rough shape here. But I'm curious what you thought of the Bears' performance, if there was any kind of positive takeaways that you had, and what you had on the Lions too, because you've got a good eye for football, and obviously they did have a good game. So I'm curious what stuck out to you there too.
Yeah, there's not a lot of big positives for the Bears coming out of yesterday. No big surprise there. I think the single thing that stood out the most to me was the play of the Bears' interior defensive line against the Lions' interior offensive line. I think, if you recall, and we talked about this last week, the Bears really eschewed the edge rusher position in the offseason and instead said, we're going to really try to hammer the interior of our defensive line, just throw assets at that group and try to make noise in the middle of the pocket, make quarterbacks uncomfortable, get them moving laterally in the backfield, and that's going to get them off their spot. And once they're off their spot, most quarterbacks get a lot worse. Jared Goff did not get knocked off his spot. I think there was one play where he actually had to move yesterday, and that's just a massive, massive win for the Lions. I don't know if it says more about what Grady Jarrett and Andrew Billings and Jervon Dexter and Chris Williams were able to do for the Bears, or if it says more about the massive improvement that Christian Mahogany, Graham Glasgow, and Tate Ratledge had in the middle of the Lions line. But if I was a Lions fan, I'd be exhaling a huge sigh of relief. This is not going to be a position area. It's kind of a larger group to talk about the interior offensive line together. That position group isn't going to torpedo the season. And I think that was, from a more analytical standpoint, that's probably the main takeaway. After that, it's just, oh my God, 52 points.